reflexologist. I have a practice here in Sanford called Deeply Touch Reflexology and Healing Arts. And I did come to your wellness day a little while ago.
Yeah, you did the ears.
Yeah, I worked on people's ears, trying to kind of introduce what reflexology is to you, and I thought maybe I would come and just kind of explain a little bit more, or give some information. You can ask questions. Very informal, please. I'm going to take it wherever you want me to take it. I'll try to explain what I know, and if it's something you want to ask me about specifically, I'll try to answer that as I can. As Charlie said, I work at Shaw's. That was one foot in the real world and one foot in the and this is exactly what I absolutely love it. I can help people feel better with my hands for their health. And I work on the ears, hands, and feet. I prefer the feet, but I really begin to love the ears, especially when I go to wellness fairs. I really like that because that reflexology in the ears can help people come down, relax quickly. So, but the feet are the most sensitive. So you're thinking, okay, what is reflexology? Reflexology is a holistic healing, simple healing way for your body to relax. It works on reflex points that have been identified in the 3 areas that mirror your body. So your feet, is represented here in the chart. So every part of your foot represents a part in your body. So if someone came to me and said, for a session, I would sit with them and say, okay, what's going on in your body that you came here? Did you come here just an R&R to take care of yourself, or do you have a specific situation going on? And so they would say either they had a back problem, or a hip problem, a sciatica, or high blood pressure, neck. Women hold their stress in their neck and their shoulders a lot. So I would work their whole foot, left foot first, because that's the side that your heart is on. We want to get the blood going, so I would go to the right. For a full session, it's like 25 minutes on each foot, so I touch the whole foot, which means I'm touching your whole body. So we want to get the body relaxed. When your body relaxes, it wants to heal itself. And that's as simple as that. Our bodies want to heal itself, give it a chance. Our bodies are full of stress from the lifestyles that we live. We listen to the news, we're on the phone all the time, we're going so fast, just life in general right now. So it has a hard time, our body has a hard time healing itself. They're saying now 75 to 80% of disease is caused by stress. So if we can reduce that by taking care of ourselves in a healthy, holistic way. So I recommend, of course, reflexology, but any way that you can help your body relax. Massage, acupuncture, chiropractic, whatever works best for your body, I highly recommend that you do that. It's a very old practice. It's been around for thousands of years. The charts kind of have been, the reflex points have been identified in the last probably 50 years. With research, they have found that, okay, you touch this part of your foot, it's going to help get the blood flow to that part in your body. Everything is all related. And when I say your feet tell the story of your body, people are like, what does that mean? Well, what's going on in your feet? As a person that's learned reflexology, I can tell what's going on in your body, in your life. From the change in texture, from the humps and bumps and things that are on your foot that have been created, which is always my interesting thing that I like to share with people, is that if you have buildup of skin, corns, bumps, color change, all of that tells a story of the body part that it's on, it's around. It protects that body part. Especially it happens in our toes a lot, our big toe. Sometimes grows extra skin there. Well, that is to protect that body part. So the big toe is your head, and that is either protecting your jaw or your neck area, and you're like, huh, really? But when I start working and looking at it and talking to the client, yeah, I do have a jaw problem sometimes. I mean, I use a guard at night, or yeah, my neck on this side bothers me, and it all kind of says, understand, person understands.
How ticklish feet working?
Yeah, I just had someone call the other day and say, oh, I got, ticklish feet. The point is different. Meaning, we're not on your couch goofing around. We are in the office. We are, my approach is different. So yeah, I have had a couple of people that are ticklish and they kind of like, wince a little bit, but really my touch is firm, and it's different than, moving around at home with the kids. So, the hands are fantastic for young people. Kids and teenagers, because they have not, I call it use and abuse their hands. We, as older people, have really used the hands, especially you guys with all the physical work that you're doing with your hands. Your reflexes on the points are not as sensitive as the feet. So that's why I like the feet. But for kids and teenagers, for them to learn reflexology on their hands is very beneficial. It helps them calm down. I can show kids their points, and they're in a very stressful world right now, trying to handle everything that's thrown at them. So if they can learn to relax their body, hands are the way to go with kids. It works on your circulation. It gets your blood flowing through your body. So as you say, and I told before, I work on the left side first to get it pumping through the heart. I've had people actually report that they can feel their blood moving in their body when they are actually having a session. And then I also work with your nerve endings. There are over 7,000 nerve endings in your foot. And that's, so when your feet hurt, your body hurts, right? So that also gets your nerve endings going. So all of that helps heal the body and brings relax. If you've ever had a massage, that's how at the end of the session you feel like you're part of the table, you can barely move, it's so relaxing. Well, that's how you should feel at the end of an hour of reflexology, by me just touching your feet. Because I'm working with your whole body to get your body to relax. Questions? Do you follow? That makes sense? Mr. Question, Charlie.
So why is it called reflexology? It sounds like it's just massaging the feet and the hands.
Yeah, it's actually similar, but it's different. I am massaging because we all like that. We all want that to feel good. But there are specific points on the foot that represent the body. So if someone's having an upset stomach, then I would work their left foot right in here. And that is specific techniques that we learned that we use to get into those reflex points. Instead of just moving back and forth, that's really nice. It really, really feels good. But to actually heal that particular body part, you want to get in there a little bit differently, with different techniques. Good question. Because yeah, we all like, just the power of touch. That's another thing too. We don't touch each other enough. We don't hug. We just kind of go on our way. And so anything to help each other feel better in an appropriate touch, I'm all for it. And the ears, I do that in public because it's easier to get to rather than getting the person's feet up and working on them. The ears. Who experienced the ears when I was here last time? Yeah. What did you think?
That was different. I like
have you tried it since on
No, I
someone
have
else?
not.
No, you have not. You guys, have you tried it on someone else? Like one kind of thing?
Oh yeah, Jeff.
Yeah. And you know, it's not the same, but you can do it on yourself. The feeling is not the same, but the work is the same. So if you do reflexology or just touching, you know, getting some cream and touching your feet and your hands, the work is the same. It doesn't feel as nice, but the work is the same. So you can still, you know, do the whole, you know, moving all your ears around and working on your feet. Yeah. Any questions? Anything that's popping up? Yes.
So is the connection, is the idea that the nerve, like that, you know, some spot on my foot, that nerve ending is connecting to the brain,
Yes.
and then that's telling the brain to fix the associated area?
Yeah, it's a combination of everything. It's your brain, but it's also the cells in that particular area that are being relaxed in that body part. And it's also the blood flow and the oxygen, the lymph, all in that area, working it all at once. To get those cells to be less stressed, so your body immune system can take over and heal.
Okay.
I used to joke and tell my kids, they're going to get brain and brain color if I wasn't too far off.
Oh, that's an odd thing to say to kids.
When they do something really stupid that they shouldn't have done.
Yeah. Well, that's true. So your big toe and your thumb is your head. So if you're gonna work anything, I would work those points. Because, you know, where your mind goes, where your head goes, your body tends to go too. So if you can relax your mind, I would work on that.
So I see you know your chart.
You know, I taught a class, and I left the chart there by accident. I have the chart.
Okay.
And the great thing about the ears is there's a lot more reflex points on the ears than on the feet. And again, I say all the body parts are in the foot. There's one thing that is not in the foot, and that is in the ear, and that's the hand. The hand is actually in the ear. So if someone's having a problem with carpal tunnel or lose a finger, and they're activated, then we need to
So this is where it deviates from the traditional massage. Background and
It's, and I could stand up here and blah, 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 and tell you, you know, your feet near your body and all that, but it's really something to experience, and you don't quite get it until you actually get it. Until you actually receive a treatment and realize that your feet, you know, it's the first thing you put on the ground. They get you where you want to go in your life, but it's really a map of your whole body. If you aren't happy, you 9 times out of 10
There's a school of thought now where cancer patients in the care, not just from rheumatologists, but from all because they're Africa. So, is it reflexologist that was called in?
Yeah, actually, I go to the cancer center every Wednesday and volunteer. I can't take that away, you know, like that would, but you can help with the symptoms of the side effects of chemo or radiation. And you gotta be careful there too, because this cleanses your body of toxins too.
So what about after treatment? There seem to be some lingering side effects or long-term health issues.
Of chemo.
Because of,
Yes, and again, reflexology can help detox the body from that and also help with the symptoms, especially the nauseous and fatigue and just getting the blood flowing again. It's very beneficial. Again, any touch, any positive thing that we can do to help them feel better. What do you think? Some people actually work on the eyes and the tongue. It doesn't really
Really?
interest me, but there's also reflexology for that.
Seems little.
Yeah, they look at the their blood vessels in your eyes. They have a special machine for it, which I have had it done. That's something I was really interested in. So people always say, well, how often should you come? Or how often should you have that? Well, I think you should take care of your feet every day. But that's something that I don't do. I'm not a doctor, so I can't prescribe, treat, or diagnose. I tell people, well, how do you feel at the end of your session? Feel great. Well, don't you want to feel great all the time? So take care of yourself, take care of your feet, or, come for a session. Some people, I have a client that comes to me every week. I have clients that just automatically book once a month, because it's a wellness thing. How do you want to keep your body running? So it will be there for you. And it needs to be when you get your immune system up and keep your body relaxed. So everyone is different. Some people come just because they want to get out of the house, or it's part of the wellness program. And when so I cannot diagnose, but I can tell when there's something going on in the body, from the body part, especially on the feet. The hands, I can't so much. And the ears, I have started to. I'm much more sensitive to it now. But the feet, so if there's a change in texture underneath my work, my thumb, as I move along, that's an imbalance in that body part that it represents. For example, I had a gal that I was working on, and the lungs are up here. And so I'm working on her lungs. I worked on her whole foot, but every time I went back to the lung, it was like, it's like sand pebbles underneath it as I'm working on I can't really say anything. I gotta say, have you been to the doctor? Or, again, I can't diagnose. I can't say there's something going on. So I go in the back door, kind of ask, different questions. What's been going on in your life? Oh my gosh, I just got over this bad cold. I had bronchitis. That's what it was. It was leftover stuff in her lungs from her bronchitis. And so what I did after I learned that, I just worked my magic, or worked my thumbs, and we were able to rid it from her body. Actually, I heard a story of a gal that could tell, and I haven't done this myself, but I was so amazed. I want to learn how to do it. She was able to tell a gal that she was pregnant by her ovaries, and the girl didn't know it, and she's like, you know that you're pregnant? And I thought that was totally amazing. So I haven't got there yet. But so change in texture, change in color, some unusual hump or bump going on in the foot indicates. I have a client that has corns on that area. On his calves of his feet, and he has like three over here and two on the other side. And he is a master plumber, and he feels that he's exposed to chemicals early in his career, and he feels that there's something going on in his lungs. And those corns are there to protect the body part, the lungs. He hasn't been diagnosed, but he knows that in his gut that is what has happened to him. So maybe I can show you a couple of places on your hands that you can show your family members and work on yourselves if you need to. Is that okay? So, as I said earlier, your thumbs and your big toes is your head reflex. So that's an area that I work a lot on during the session. One of the most important ones, especially for women, because women tend to have a hard time falling asleep. If you're staying asleep, you're having insomnia, or you're like, yes! So, the pituitary gland, which is the master gland in our head that controls all of our hormones, is in our thumb. And if you can find the center of your fingerprint, right in there is kind of a concave, kind of reminds me of a concave feeling spot And so sometimes you have to move around. I use my pointer finger to get in there. And you kind of move it around to find the most deepest, sensitive spot you can. And sometimes there is going to be a little grain, sand or pebble in it, on one or the other thumb. And once you find that, as deep as you can, you want to hold that. Some people like to just pulse it or just hold it. Again, that's your pituitary gland reflex. Anybody have trouble finding theirs? I can help you. Find it? Yeah.
You don't have one.
Probably all cows.
Anybody else? Have a hard time finding it?
What about this? Simple stone button.
Yeah.
Again, you might not have that little green, it's not like, sand, whatever you want to call it. So this way, if you wake up in the middle of the night, you can hold on to it. Sometimes it's really nice, because that's really one of if you can go to either one, you can just do both of them if you want to. The other place is your solar plexus, and that is the center of who you are, and that is going to be in your diaphragm line on your hand. And your diaphragm line is right underneath your knuckles. You know how people take a deep breath, relax. In and out, just relax. So that's what you want to do when you are working your diaphragm reflex. Again, it's starting from the outside of your hand and just working, inchworming across or sliding across and breathing. And also on that line is, again, I'm going back to your solar plexus. It is that spot that's similar to your concave thumb, but right in the center of your hand, and then you kind of move it, find it, and your thumb really goes far in. That, again, that's the center of who you are. And you can hold that, find it, hold it, pulse it, whatever feels right for you. And just put some deep breathing, and that was good, go to your favorite place. And you can do this, it doesn't take very long, and it changes your whole feeling if you get in tune with it. So your back reflex is really important, because I know that a lot of people have back problems, especially if you stand on cement floors when you work out. That can be really taxing on your lower back. So your back starts at your wrist and goes to the tip of your thumb. So what I do is on this bone, right along here, you can just slide your thumb along, or do the inchworm like I was doing earlier, and just sliding across. And note how it feels underneath your thumb, that sliding down. You know how a little bit right there? Because that sometimes I'm sitting in the chair, I'm kind of hunched over, and I'm working on those feet, so I have my toes right here to be stiff. And I can feel that, actually, the change in texture underneath my thumb, right at that spot. And again, sometimes you have to close your eyes, and you have to actually get in tune with your body for it to work, if you're not used to it. But I say keep trying it, and you will get your mind and your body connected to what's happening in your body. You need to have your brain activated, tips of your fingers. So it's just a matter of
Oh, you're my big toe.
yeah, you did. You were all wrong on that one. It's the tips of your fingers, and also your sinuses. You know, we all have sinus issues, so the air quality that we breathe can be lousy sometimes, so it also helps there. And as I said before, your stomach is on the left side of your body, 85% of it is on the left, so your reflex for your stomach. You know, kids have upset stomachs, they're not going to school, or, you know, anxiety or whatever. Again, it's just tenderly but firmly massaging, inchworming around the left, in the center. Sure. Anyone can have reflexology from babies. I highly recommend it for babies to senior citizens. That's one area, one group of people that we will stay away from for a while, is gals that are pregnant. There's nothing proven at all that reflexology would hurt the fetus at all, but we don't want the two of them to be correlated together at all. So after the third trimester, I should say, sorry, then we could. And even then, we stay away from the ovary and the uterus reflex points, which is
They could do that.
Actually, I have had 2 women come to me while they were pregnant, and I went through the whole pregnancy with them. They take once a week, and it really helps them keep their body well in the pregnancy, and we felt it was really a good benefit. So it's getting in touch with your body, and your body wants to heal itself, and you want to cure itself. And it's really hard to do when we live in the lifestyle that we live right now, because we are asked to just go on this treadmill of busyness, and most of us get tired within your body, or your loved one's body.
So would you work with people who have snoring or sleep apnea?
Yeah, well, that snoring and weight loss are the 2 biggest questions I hear about this over there. Unfortunately, I don't know. I have not had any success. Questions? Questions, Charlie?
I had never heard of reflexology until we had you here for on this fair. Where does one go to school
I had never heard of it either until 3 years ago. I owned a busy catering business here in town, and I just felt like it was not my path, and I wanted to do something else, and I'm like, oh gosh, I've worked that for 10 years in retail, and I just need to do something different, and I just love one-on-one, getting to know someone on a more personal level, and what can I do to help someone, and literally the word, I found the word, and what is it? I Googled, you know what we all do, right? Just Google, we don't know something, and it came up, and I thought, that sounds really interesting, and there are 2 schools in Maine, and the one that I went to was in Falmouth, and the other one was up in Maricosta, and it's a 300-hour course, so I took it from January to June, and I had to practice on 100 different feet, 50 hands. Then later, I took the ear class, which is phenomenal, by a famous reflexologist that came to New England. I have a certification, I have insurance, I am the only one in the area, so it's educating people on what it is and what it can do for our bodies. That's the mission of mine, is to educate as many people. You know, yes, sure, I'm building a practice and I let people come, but it's also teaching you so you can go home and, though you didn't do it, maybe practice on each other and give some relief or help and teach someone else. Hey, I learned this. And, it's just listening to your body, taking care of your body in a holistic, healing, natural way, rather than having a pill, which it has its place, don't get me wrong, but sometimes a lot of things just needs good circulation and the blood flow will do that.
Is it just ears, or are there other less sensitive areas on the body that also have reflex points?
Like I said, the eyes and the too. And then, you know what, there's actually reflexologists that do the face.
Okay.
too, which I have not experienced, but I hear it's lovely. And I haven't even ever received a chart for it. So I belong to the Reflexology Association of Maine. There's probably about 100 of us. A lot of them in town have been to more, and there's a group that shows some it's really
Well, so if you have something involved, it's not necessarily really, you don't know anything necessarily about the word, but it's just something that's a little off. You could use something like reflexology to try to locate where the issue might be based on the part of your body that's most sensitive.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what you're feeling right about, how severe that is. I would say you go to your doctor first, and share that information with them. But if it's minor, if you just, I wouldn't say not going to
Yeah,
doctor.
but it's been my experience that women are more in touch with their bodies, so they're a little bit more aware of the rest.
Yeah.
It's not all men, but in the areas, and
I
so
do-
it might be helpful.
Yeah, and I do have a lot of male clients actually, and sometimes it is like, oh, someone touching my feet and and the whole taking care of myself. But I really, the population of men I'm coming to is much more than I really anticipate. So and there's more. So whatever happens in my office stays in my office. So I highly recommend, we can talk, which I don't personally. I have a couple of clients that they talk through the whole thing, and that's kind of like a therapy. Because I listen and they talk, totally fine. But I think that people should go into their zone. I think they should just relax and let go, let the world stay outside, and a lot of times snoring happens. And I have office hours later in the day, because at the end of the day, that's when it happens, because you're kind of tired and lethargic after the session, and sometimes it's hard to go on the rest of your day. So coming later in the day, coming in comfy clothes and just go home and relax. I always recommend water, hot water. Questions?
So it just seems like this might be acupuncture without needles.
Similar.
Sort of like,
Similar. I am not an acupuncturist, so I don't know the exact. They go to school for a lot longer
Right.
than we have, but yeah, there are reflex points. We call them reflex points rather than putting the needle in that
Sure,
area.
yeah.
It's just a more natural way to heal the body.
Yeah.
Well, as my business name is Good Touch Reflexology and Healing Arts. I tagged on the Healing Arts because I thought, okay, this is all new, and I don't really know anything. Once you get into the holistic end of things, or the healing, the natural way of you tend to evolve into other things. Well, I have evolved into something else. And I just got back from a class, and I'm very excited about, and I learned a 7-day seminar on biomagnetism hair. It's healing the body of parasites, viruses, bacteria, and fungus with medium strength magnets, a pair of them. And I'm bringing that to my practice, and I am going to be practicing on 100 pairs bodies between now and August, so if anyone's ever interested in that. Sometimes that's the root of a lot of our illnesses, because we have a parasite or fungus or virus in our bodies that are creating havoc. And I think that reflexology has a small piece in that, because we have learned that putting the negative magnet on a particular area on the body, I go to the feet, and the feet tells me if there's an issue with that by the right leg shortening. which is like, oh my gosh, crazy. And then I can figure out from there where to put the other magnet. I put the 2 magnets on your body for 12 minutes, and it gets rid of whatever was in that area that caused your problem. So why I learned this is that my office is on High Street, in my doctor's office, and she sees a lot of patients that have Lyme disease, and this is helping with symptoms of Lyme disease. You probably know how debilitating it is, and is really prevalent in this area. So this therapy, biomagnetism pair, meaning pair of magnets, is finding great relief in the symptoms of Lyme. Again, I'm practicing, I'm not charging, and I'm looking for people, and if you want, I'm doing it on Fridays. It is, again, a natural way to heal the body, to eliminate those buggers from our body that are pretty